Welcome back to another episode of my trading vlog, where most of the views come from returning subscribers. If that's you, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button. If not, consider subscribing. I'm gonna go through a lot today. I had a request for chain links, so we'll hit that at the end. But I'm gonna go through SPY, AMC, GameStop, Tesla, Bitcoin, PLBY, NVDA. It's gonna be a shorter one. Hopefully, I know there's way too much to look at. I'm not going to make it in 5 minutes. I always try to, never do. Let's talk about SPY first. We had FOMC meeting notes coming out, of course, the Federal Reserve reiterating that they're going to continue to raise rates after the pause, and this has caused a correction downward in the equities markets. SPY rejecting off that 443 level. It's a very important level. It really is. It's either going to form a double top if it rejects, the price rejects that level, or we're going to get bull flag and an extension heading higher. If you watch Ron Walker's YouTube channel, I recommend you do. If you don't, he's been calling a top for a while now. Typically, I've made that mistake where I call tops too early. I think we're finally at that point where we're getting there. Bulkowski's chart pattern software Patterns, which is available on his website, thepatternsoftware.com, it identifies a rising wedge on SPY. I've shown that rising wedge as well. I want to talk about this intraday price trend going on. I posted on Twitter and I showed an extension, my classic extension tool, and I left it just like this, showing that we were going to get a bounce off of this low we found about halfway through the trading session and then push lower. We're searching for that 442 target. We didn't quite get there. I'm going to try to turn on a candlestick chart and maybe finagle this, and then we can say, hey, if we use the price extremes, then yeah, we definitely reached that target. It was fantastic. We've seen a bounce since then. I wouldn't put too much faith in it, honestly, and that's because the implied volatility is no longer rising. In my Twitter post, I mentioned that implied volatility began to rise as price fell, and then you can see implied volatility drops as price begins to pull up, indicating that the bounce was a corrective trend and that progress is being made to the downside. And you can see that implied volatility spiking again as the price spilled from that low near 443 of this pennant. This is where I was using that extension tool. I was using this first wave down for the resistance, and we're challenging that right now. Markets are still open. It looks like we're going to form an M or a swing pattern in the RSI here. Not really sure. Gonna have to let that simmer for a while, but you can see that now implied volatility is starting to fall as price is rising. Probably in a corrective trend, and it's SPY, so it's gonna do some funny stuff. Wait for pre-market and after hours to really settle what went on today. Looks like we have a bearish reversal candle showing up on the minute time frame. This one right here at that critical level of support resistance. So watch 443 here. Gonna go move on. Let's check out AMC. I don't want to look at the minute time frame very much, but we may as well just stay here. You can see that the price here is barcoding quite a bit. Gonna zoom out into the hourly time frame and turn on the line chart. It's good to get the red and green out of the charts as it removes bias. Line charts only show the close, so they won't show the extremes within the period that you're looking at. So I won't be seeing the swings within the hourly time frame, just the closes. I had a target at 457 for an ABC correction. We've definitely reached that, and we're spilling down now, challenging the uptrend that this corrective bounce has formed. If we get a breakdown from here, I'm looking for that continuation to reach 358 for the minuet target. If not, we'll just be grinding up and challenging this downtrend some more. This 450 level was a pretty big level, as was 442. As long as price remains below there, I'm saying that the price is neutral to bearish. Neutral to bearish. Let's go to GameStop. GameStop formed a flag just like it did at the earnings, and that flag has failed, and now we're looking for a spill down. We have an ABC correction on the minuet, or on the sub-minuet degree. So I show in yellow here, you can see that the measured move down for wave C confirmed at 24.26. We've passed below there and we hit the target at 23.92. Oversold now on the RSI may indicate that this corrective trend is over. We're not really going to get another bullish confirmation level until we get above 25.51. I've been reiterating that 25.51 level. 25.51. I want to say it over and over again. Watch 25.51 on GameStop, and I wouldn't be positioned bullish there until we get above that level. I'm not trading AMC or GameStop. We're going to take a look at Tesla. They moved a bunch more cars than people thought they would, and we were moving through a horizontal triangle, which can easily signal a push higher from an initial impulse. This C wave could be extending now. Yeah, you're going to see I have a couple different patterns shown here. That news brought a reversal 100%. You can see implied volatility is still dropping. I would really watch this last high at 279.09. If the price cannot get above there, bearish reversal. Topping out above 267, I think, is typical, or not typical, but what I'm expecting. Perhaps we see a double top through here as well. I wouldn't be too bullish here yet either. And I say yet, mostly because we need to correct this massive impulse that brought the price from 152 to 280. This is almost a 200% rise. This is insane. You would at least expect for the price to come back to test this downtrend that broke a while ago. This is looking nuts, just looking silly, complacent, over exuberant. I don't know, bear market bounce, who knows? But you know, Tesla's is kind of a wild card, to be honest. Bitcoin today moving below 31,345 still, but above that 31,000 level. I would say that we're pretty neutral until we get out of here. I was posting about this on Twitter. This could be a high and tight flag. If we get an upward breakout, we'll be targeting 37,000, but we're not there yet. Not quite. There's still a ways to go. The RSI on the hourly time frame reaching oversold. Could be the end of a retracement. But as price grinds sideways and the averages become tighter together, the RSI will move across the indicator more frequently. We're going to need to look at a higher time frame to really decide where we're at in terms of relative strength. If I zoom out into the daily time frame, you can see we are actually setting up a bearish divergence where the RSI is setting a lower high as price is setting a higher high. Volume is low still on the day. Implied volatility is not giving us much of a clue. Waiting patiently to see what Bitcoin does. I'm going to pull up the dollar really quickly. I believe we're moving through a horizontal triangle. All those chart drawings pop up, and I think that makes sense on the hourly time frame. Here I was discussing how when you get two consecutive touches along a trend line independent, you typically see that third wave push all the way across the pattern. And that's what we appear to be doing here. It looks like we're coming up for potentially wave B in a measured move down. That would bring us down quite a ways. I don't think I have a target there. I'm expecting to move sideways. We'll see what happens out of this. This would be a horizontal triangle at this point. Because we're in a corrective downtrend, we really could see a spill lower. Not ready to say that, though. I really do believe that we're going to see the dollar rally, probably even reach 105 and test this downtrend. That will be bearish for equities, which is kind of a crazy thing to say right now as the markets are positioned bullishly. But I think that these rallies are losing steam and that we are in a wave B of a larger degree on a bigger chart pattern. I won't go into that now. I've done plenty of that analysis in the past. Moving on to NVDA, which broke out of a flag from earnings and then failed to really hit the target at 473, but has set a lower or a higher low, which is bullish. But again, I'm expecting some sort of topping pattern to form here. We could be seeing the beginning of that now. I've been trying to kind of conceptualize that here in the RSI, and that would be typical to see in a wave E, which would be the last wave of a rising diagonal or a rising wedge like this. We'd see an overthrow, perhaps hit that target and spill downward, but still just grinding sideways through here. Not much to say. It looks like we're spinning on that 419 level. 420. Watch 420. Let's go to PLBY next. PLBY's been grinding sideways through a trading range, and at least on this chart, you might even say that we're forming some sort of triangle through here, which really could be the truth. We could see a big sideways consolidation before we see a move outward. I'm waiting for a news event to push the price higher. Moving into the 15-minute chart here and zooming into that time frame, I have a motive wave count, which shows price retracing down to 166. And that would be the 50% retracement level from the impulse higher. I'm showing this as wave 1 or A, and the fall here to wave 2 or B. This could be a horizontal triangle again, which would signal wave C pushing up towards $2. It is. I don't have the target here, but I believe it's at $2. Just sitting on my hands. I'm trading this. I'm holding long. Yes, I'm also trading a few shares back and forth just to practice, just to kind of break the psychology. I tend to get overly committed. It's very hard to know when to sell. I bought down here, I sold up here, and then I bought again somewhere around I think it was like 168 or something. And so on Twitter, I'm sharing those trades when I make them. So be sure to follow me on Twitter. Here's the, not Twitter, but TradingView. This is my Twitter account. If you're not following me here, go ahead and follow me here. I'm making a lot of posts. You can see that I posted this forecast for the intraday price movement in SPY pushing down to 442, which I caught very well. And then I went over Bitcoin as well. Bunch of there, but let's go into Chainlink. This is what I had a request for. I had a really hard time deciding what to do with this upward channel. This is obviously in logarithmic scale, not in linear scale. The first moves here were pretty clearly just ABC, ABC, back-to-back 3 patterns, which can be followed by a motive wave C pushing up higher on a large wave degree for a 335 pattern, and that would be expressed in this upward channel in green. And when I did this motive wave count, there were a couple small issues that were kind of nitpicky. You don't necessarily need to see an alternating waveform pattern in corrective waves 2 and 4, but I had a hard time with that. It's difficult when you have the price run from like 17 cents to $55. Like, where's the third wave extension? The truth is that really there could be more than 5 waves in a motive wave if you just add up all of the waves throughout every extension. And it could be that there's multiple wave extensions in the fractaling of the price. As price pushes higher, it's always free to do whatever it wants, and when it does that, this is what you get. I thought the best way to describe this would be in an ABC push, which is typical in the meme stocks, where we see these 3 motion waves soar, just send the price flying. And it's difficult because these waves are rather unpredictable. They're very hard to forecast. When you get into motive waves, there are some rules. Wave 2 can't completely retrace wave 1. Wave 4 can't move into the price range of wave 1, and wave 3 can't be the shortest wave. But when we move into ABC waves, you only get 2 motive waves, A and C, and wave B can be really whatever it needs to be, and that might be some sort of triangle. It could be even a diamond. I've been seeing some weird stuff lately in waves B, where you get, I think they're called running flats, where wave A goes down, but then wave B sets a new high, and wave C may or may not set a new low. It makes it difficult because we don't really get a clear pennant pattern or a triangle. You just get this weird zigzag thing that could easily form a diamond. Nonetheless, seeing the top of this rally was pretty easy. There's a rising wedge through here, and this would either be the top of wave 5 or C. I tried to put, in the hypothetical motive wave count through here, I tried to put wave 5 out this way for a truncated 5th, but then the corrective wave form through here didn't look as good. I'm pretty confident in saying that you can express this as A, B, and C, or 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 with a 5th wave extension. And now we're going to that ABC move down and grinding sideways at around $6, which isn't necessarily bullish, right? I mean, the high was at $52. Probably just going to grind sideways for a while. This exuberant push higher and this massive correction probably doesn't signal it, but if this is an initial impulse, then we'll be taking the height of this wave, which is like $50, and using that for our target on the next push higher, if that's what we're going to get. I don't think we are, though. If we were, we'd probably already see some indication of that in the price, but this is just basing, and you never know. This could be a thing of scale, and like the meme stocks, when the attention leaves and when the money leaves, you're looking at basically a whole new stock down here, a whole new ticker. It's a completely different game once the attention leaves. So that's my analysis on Chainlink. I'm not sure what Chainlink is or anything. I just am doing the technical analysis, and it's indicating to me that, yeah, we're probably going to be trading through this $9 and $5 range for a while. That's a big range, given that it's like 50% rally. Great. Anyway, that's what I have for today's video. If you like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want. Tip jar is open. Happy trading.